So let me tell you the couple I will be pushing for. We're getting rid of affirmative action in federal hiring practices by executive order. Well, not me, but if we can convince the president, meaning we're going to push for that. Vivek pinpointed this. By executive order, affirmative action, it's going to be merit-based hiring in the federal government. Number two, the Federal Presidential Reorganization Act will allow us to hire fire civil service employees at will.
Yeah, we should bring back a civil service exam too.
That's it.
I love that.
We had one.
Yes.
Like the Carter administration had one and got rid of it on Reagan, and they never got a new one.
So you want like a super ThoughtCrimey one that I probably won't, that we won't be able to get done? Privatize the TSA.
Oh yeah,
That would be amazing. Trump should have run on that. If Trump ran on privatizing the TSA, he'd have won New Jersey.
Did he ever bring up the shoes? I know they were talking about like him saying that you can leave your shoes on. I can't remember if he ever actually said it.
What?
Trump just like not having to take your shoes
Oh,
off.
yeah,
to get
yeah,
a place.
it's ridiculous.
Just come out and be like,
No.
we're making it the 90s again.
Well, no,
the
but
90s
I mean, but just think about
great.
it. If you privatize the TSA to a private service and you say you cannot allow someone to wait in line more than 15 minutes, figure it out, right? Come up with a screening. By the way, it'll be safer. It'll be better. And yeah, I mean, current TSA agents, you can do it away where they can apply for jobs with this private so that, you don't have like a ton of people losing jobs.
Yep.
But it has to be merit, right? So you got to prove that you can do the job. So you have some sort of deal with whatever private firm that all the, try to fill the positions with current federal employees, meaning, like a 1-to-1. And that's it. And then you just say that TSA is now privatized as a federal contractor. You have a 2-year contract with the federal government. And we're gonna independently audit you of how many bogey weapons make it through. So you go through like Denver Airport with like a fake gun. As an auditor, can you make it through? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you audit.
and you can even do it on an airport by airport basis to encourage competition and all of that.
Yes, and then I'm telling you right now, privatizing the TSA will go down as one of the great, people will see a before and after, and a Republican will be able to run, right, Tyler, for re-election, and be like, I got wait lines at the airport down by 90%. It's safer than ever before. I'm not kidding. This is a real thing that you want to talk about. It's better for the country. Jack, don't you agree? I mean, how many times we spend time in airports? Tyler, I probably wasted a year of my life.
Wait, Charlie. So what are the logistics of this? Because people look at TSA as a quote unquote security force. Technically they're law enforcement. So how do you have private law enforcement?
Well, first of all, you could still have TSA agents supervise.
Yeah.
You could still have TSA agents enforce the violation. It's no different than you have a private security firm at the Department of Justice that makes sure that, or the janitors at the Department of Justice, right?
There's private security all over the government.
Yeah, of course. I mean, and you have private contractors all over the government, right? It's not like some unknown thing. We have private prisons, by the way. That's a great example. So you just say that the 99% of the work, and by the way, the speed, the efficiency, it will all go on. And by the way, you tell the company that gets it, and Blake is right. You can open it up for 5 different contracts and say, okay, you guys get O'Hare, Minneapolis, Milwaukee, Cleveland, and Detroit. You guys get Atlanta, Hartsfield, Orlando, Miami. You guys get Phoenix, LA, and Denver. We're going to see who actually does the best job over 3 years, and whoever does gets the big daddy, federal contract. By the way, if we're just so we're clear, the TSA budget right now is $11 billion. That's insane, okay? Insane. You want to talk about the Department of Government Efficiency? By the way, just so we're clear, part of your airline ticket goes to the TSA. That's on top. There's a $25. You guys know that, right? There's a $25 surcharge.
How does Clear work?
Clear is a separate thing through the Department of Homeland Security where they take your biometrics. I think it's really creepy.
Right,
Cliff,
are they contractors? I think they are.
I'm going to ask right now, which is it's a private membership program that allows members to speed up. Let me see. It is
so
the
basically
TSA.
It would be it's like what you're talking about, basically.
Yes, I'm trying to see. It's actually, you're right. ClearMe is not a federal government website. It is a private company. You're right. Yeah, Clear is a private company.
Yeah, Clear's private.
So yeah, this is not that crazy.
Yeah, so
it's already there. It's already halfway there.
Yeah, it's already kind of. What I'm saying is this is already kind of in service. It's just we call it Clear, but you see them. They're not in every airport. They're in 55 plus airports, stadiums, and other venues, and they do. Yeah, and it's privately used. We're on ThoughtCrime, right? Wait, because I do want to say something about Clear since we're on the subject, and you just mentioned this. I had a buddy who was applying for clear, made it all the way through the selection process, made it all the way up, and it was for like a management position. And they basically straight up told him that we can't hire you because you're a white male.
Yeah, well, of course. I mean, that's why we're getting, again, if we're able to get rid of affirmative action, you'll have a better government. Your government will work better if we have merit-based hiring, okay? Merit-based hiring, best people get the jobs. You'll just get a better product out of your federal government. And Cliff, as the libertarian guy, do you like the way this conversation's going, Cliff?
Listen, I was like, man, am I really going to sit with these guys for 5 hours? And when I come on, it's privatizing the TSA. Look, my favorite statistic, and I still can't believe they put this out. You know, they did a study, I think it was 2015, where they had the FBI go undercover, right, and try to sneak in illegal items through the TSA. 95%. And when I say that, people are like, oh, 5% of it failed. No,
that's 100% true.
95% of the time, they were able to get illegal substances, weapons, all of these banned items. 95% of the time, the guys in blue, the 400-pound people that are supposed to protect us and keep us safe, they got it through.
So, Cliff, I'll do you one better on that. So, it totally lines up. So, when I worked, I'm not going to say where it was, but when I was in the intelligence community, Navy Intel, so I was attached to an EOD unit, so that's explosive ordnance disposal. And at one point, we were running operations where we would get one of the EOD guys to go run Rumble, right? Okay, so we're not on YouTube, right? Are we on YouTube?
Nope. You are free to speak.
Oh. Okay, so we would get guys to make fake bombs, and what it would be like, when I say fake, I mean like it would look like it had all the components of an explosive device, like an IED, but it wouldn't have any of the actual, material to make it, go boom. But it would be like a soda can hidden in a Dorito bag, and all of the components inside would just, look on an X-ray device as if it was a bomb. And then we would work with the airport to basically get someone what they called it like a white ticket. So you'd get a ticket that you could go through and show someone, and it would scan, but you wouldn't actually have a seat on the plane because it would all be worked out. And basically what my intelligence specialist would do is I would have my guys go, because I was the N2, so I would have all my intelligence specialists, once in a while someone go down in plain clothes and then put the Dorito bag in their bag with the fake bomb inside and see if they could get it through. And it was like, it's exactly what Cliff is saying. Almost every single time we were able to get this thing through. And it just felt bad. I remember my specialist coming back saying how awkward it was, because then after you got it through, my guys actually had to go and sit with the employee as the supervisor explained what just happened and show them the device. And it was like, it was really bad.
Other ideas that we have, I mean, there's a lot of pardons that I think need to happen. Nonviolent January 6th people are out of the gate. He's promised that, but we got to make sure that happens.
My emphasis, I was really think of all the stuff, like there was a lot of sense. Trump was really hitting his stride in 2020, not even COVID stuff, but hitting the stride on, civil rights stuff, on the border, on government organization. And then all of that got poofed, when Biden just retracted everything day one. I think you want to restore as much of that as possible, as quickly as possible. So you create the vibe of this is the immediate continuation of where we were in 2020, rather than taking a long time to build all of that back up. And so I was putting the emphasis on get the border, all of that, get that online as quickly as possible. You could even bring back some of the cheesier stuff we were doing by 2020. Bring back that idea of the Garden of American Heroes with all the statues. Bring that back. That'd be great.
Love that. I love
Have
that.
it ready by the semi-centennial or whatever it was.
So I have two really big ones that absolutely have to be done.
Yeah, go ahead.
And they're since we're in election mode anyways right now, they're election related. We talked about this. Number one is we got to get rid of the federal only voter registration.
Explain more.
The federal only voter registration is the biggest mistake that's ever been made in America. This is how they're sneaking in illegals to get registered to vote. It should not exist. We should have that gone. It's a threat to our entire republic by allowing this New York, California to sneak in all these new voters to do the federal only voter registration. The second thing that we have to absolutely do is we have to have a lot more crackdown on the Yokava votes that we talked about.
Totally.
So Yokava votes.
How do you fix this without Congress? Because that's what I'm thinking about. Because there's a whole different, like I'm talking about federal stuff, like executive branch.
Well, everything with in that frame is all supported by the executive branch. So you defund the departments that are the ones that are overseeing all of it, and that brings it to a screeching halt and forces Congress to actually do something about it. Right now, we'll have the trifecta. So the president calling for this, and for sure, our Freedom Caucus members are all over this because the election integrity issues out there are huge. But and everybody needs to understand this at home. If you don't have this fixed, and also a federal voter ID law that's put into place, but if you don't have this fixed right away, you're in big trouble. The president could defund, like I've seen other people talk about defunding the IRS and things like that. The executive branch can defund so much, stop things from happening, that forces Congress to the table to actually pass laws to get it done. It's just so rarely that a president does that.